So over the last month, we have been running polls and a tournament to determine the best watch from $3,000 to $4,000, voted by tens of thousands of people. So to explain how this all worked, we started with roughly 45 watches in a poll where we asked participants to pick their top 10 watches on the list. In order to be placed in the tournament, the watch needed to be in the top 16 of receiving top 10 votes, with the seeding being determined by the percentage of times that that watch was selected in the top 10 in form submitted. In other words, the watch that was selected and appeared in the top 10, the highest percentage, would be the #1 seed, with the others following in order of their percentage. A couple notable takeaways on my side looking at the final list of 16 is that the tournament included just 6 brands in total, indicating despite our wide field over 40 watches, people were looking to the same brands consistently more in this price range than other tournaments that we've had thus far. Also, since the $3,000 tournament, we saw double the amount of watches that received over 50% of top 10 votes. So we started with 40, now let's break it down to our final 16 that are going to make up our tournament. Starting with the lowest seed, we have the 16 seed, which is going to be the Longines Conquest Chronograph, receiving 27.2% of top 10 votes. Longines has made an appearance in the previous 3 videos. Complications are now coming into play though with their chronographs. Next up at the 15th seed, we have an Oris Aquis Date, this time a caliber 400. Oris has also been in the last 3 videos. The Aquis has been in the last 2. This time you're getting their manufacturer caliber on the inside, receiving 30.5% of top 10 votes. At the 14th seed, we have our smallest brand by far. Very shocking to see this watch on here. We have the Anordain Model 1 Plume Fume Dial. This received 30.7% of top 10 votes, and this was a standout considering many of the familiar brands that you'll see for the rest of this list. Moving along to the 13th seed, a brand you might not suspect being in this price range, but we have Cartier Tank with their Solar Beat, receiving 31% of top 10 votes. Another Longines appears. Now at the 12th seed, we have the Longines Avigation Big Eye receiving 33% of top 10 votes. Our first Grand Seiko appears at the 11th seed with the Grand Seiko SBGN 027 receiving 33.8% of top 10 votes. For the 10th seed, we have the Longines Master Calendar Chronograph. This is receiving 35.5% of top 10 votes, the third Longines chronograph already making this top 16. At the 9th seed, we see a watch type that was obviously going to be on this list, the first of the type, with the Tudor Black Bay 36, the non-diver Black Bay, coming in with 36.1% of top 10 votes. We had to wait till the 9th seed to see a Tudor Black Bay, but we didn't have to wait much longer from here. At the 8th seed, the Tudor Black Bay Pro, receiving 37.8% of top 10 votes. At the 7th seed, we have the Oris Big Crown Pointer Date, this time the caliber 403, their manufacturer caliber on the inside. We've seen a Big Crown Pointer Date in the previous 3 videos. Now we're seeing it elevate with those caliber 400s on the inside, receiving 38% of top 10 votes here. At the 6th seed, another Cartier Tank. We have the Cartier Tank Musk receiving 44.8% of top 10 votes. At the 5th seed, we see another Grand Seiko with the SBGX 353 receiving 50.3% of top 10 votes. At the 4th seed, another Grand Seiko with the Grand Seiko SBGP 005 receiving 50.7% of top 10 votes. This one just edged out our 5th seed of the SBGX 353 by just a couple hundred votes. At the 3 seed, we have the Tudor Black Bay 54 receiving 54.8% of top 10 votes. At the 2 seed, we have the Longines Spirit Zulu Time receiving 59.6% of top 10 votes. Interesting here, this was actually a higher percentage of top 10 votes for a 2 seed than the previous 1 seed of the last tournament. And then way out in front for the 1 seed, we have the Tudor Black Bay 58, receiving the highest percentage for a 1 seed since the 1K tournament from long ago, now receiving 65.7% of top 10 votes. So Tudor and Longines have the most entering the tournament with 4 each. Grand Seiko is next with 3, while Cartier and Oris come in with 2 watches each. The obvious Cinderella story here of the tournament is going to be the 14 seed with Anordain. But one thing that we saw with the 3K tournament, I won't spoil that much about this, but we can see a lot of upsets, and we did see it last time. And before we look at the results of our tournament of the 16, I will also have a link in the description to our comprehensive collection of watches under $4,000 where you can shop around. The collection features dozens of different pieces. We also included a variety of watches that were not on this list. The majority of the watches were not on this list because I think for myself and most people, if you're collecting a watch, it doesn't matter what the consensus of a tournament says and what's the best watch for you. It's the watch that speaks the most to you. What do you like? So if you're in that shopping stage, you want to shop around, check that out in the description down below. We'll also have links to the previous collections for 3,000, 2,000, and 1,000. So now let's kick it off looking at the 1 seed and the 16 seed to kick off our round of 16. And we're just gonna make this one go very quickly. Massive win here. Tudor Black Bay 58 getting 80% of the total vote and moving on to the next round. Very little surprise. For the second matchup, we have the 2 seed against the 15 seed. The Longines Spirit Zulu Time moves on with 72% of the vote. Matchup 3 comes in with the 3 seed versus the 14 seed. The Tudor Black Bay 54 edges out the Anordain Model 1 with 74% of the total vote. Second largest margin of victory for this round. For our fourth matchup, we have the Grand Seiko SBGP 005 versus the Cartier Tank Must Solar. Close matchup, but the Grand Seiko wins out with 53% of the total vote. Matchup 5, we have the Grand Seiko SBGX 353 versus the Longines Avigation Big Eye at the 12 seed. The 5th seed, though, is going to edge out here with 68% of the total vote. Grand Seiko has another one moving on to the next round. For matchup 6, we have the Cartier Tank Must Quartz going up against the Grand Seiko SBGN 027, and Grand Seiko won last time with these two brands matching up. Cartier gets the W this time. The 6th seed moves on with 52% of the vote. Moving along to the 7-10 matchup, the Oris Big Crown Pointer Date Caliber 403 and the Longines Master Calendar Chronograph, the closest matchup of the entire tournament. 50%, 50%. We are talking dozens of votes separating these two watches. The matchup went back and forth throughout the day, 5 different lead changes. It was probably going to turn again if this was going on for a few more hours. Crazy matchup, but the Oris Big Crown Pointer Date, the 7 seed, moves on just barely against the Longines Master Calendar Chronograph. For matchup 8, we have the 8th seed versus the 9th seed, the two closest matchups here, Tudor on Tudor, with the Tudor Black Bay Pro edging out the Black Bay 36, 52% of the total vote. So now we move on to the round of 8, round 2. And to kick us off again, we have the 1 seed going up against the 8 seed. Here we have the Tudor Black Bay 58 versus the Tudor Black Bay Pro. Tudor on Tudor matchup again. Interestingly though, this was a bigger margin of victory than the 16-1 matchup with 2 Tudor Black Bays going up against each other. The Tudor Black Bay 58 gets 81% of the total vote and also ties the largest margin of victory in tournament history. The 2 seed then goes up against the 7 seed, and the 2 seed is going to advance. The Longines Spirit Zulu Time receiving 62% of the total vote, with the Oris Big Crown Pointer Date only receiving 38%. The 3 and the 6 matchup, we have the Tudor Black Bay 54 versus the Cartier Tank Must Quartz, and the Tudor Black Bay 54 wins out with 65% of the total vote. And then for our final matchup of round 2, we have the Grand Seiko SBGP 005 and then the Grand Seiko SBGX 353. The SBGX with a 34mm case beats out the 40mm case SBGP. Interesting, but probably no surprise if you're just looking at the dials. I wonder if there were a lot of people that were voting that didn't know the case sizes of these watches, but 58% of the vote goes to the 5 seed, the SBGX, moves on to the round of 4. So we started with 40, we've trimmed it down to just 4. The first matchup, Tudor Black Bay 58, our 1 seed up against the 5 seed, the Grand Seiko SBGX 353. And the Tudor Black Bay 58 wins still very easily, 71% of the total vote. This is the most dominant of runs that I have seen to get all the way to the finals of any past tournament. Just to give some context, the last tournament, there was only a single matchup where we saw one watch receive 70% of the total vote or more. The Tudor Black Bay 58 in just this tournament alone already has 3 wins of that amount. And then for the second matchup of the Final Four, we have the Longines Spirit Zulu Time, the 2 seed, going up against the Tudor Black Bay 54. And the 3 seed, the Tudor Black Bay 54, wins with 57% of the total vote. And then there were 2. The final championship matchup will come down to 2 Tudor watches. Now, I know it's a little strange. This is the first time we've seen 2 watches from the same brand, now the same collection going head to head. for some, they might not like this, but if we're being real and looking at just the results and maybe what you'd expect, what watch would you think most people would say is going to be the best watch for $4,000? Black Bay, let's be real, that's what a lot of people would probably assume the public would say, and they're not wrong by assuming that. I'm not mad at this result. We have two Tudor Black Bay watches for the championship. Who will win? Two different takes on a classic Submariner style from two different eras. In the one corner, we have the 58. Now the 58 was released back in 2018, coming with a 39mm case, COSC certified MT caliber on the inside, and a watch that was incredibly important to the trend that we've seen with smaller dive watches in the last 5 years. Inspired by the reference, the 7924 of, well, the year 1958. On the other side is the 3 seed going up against our 1 seed, a piece released just last year that delivers on many of the same features of the 58, but a 37mm case that draws from the 1954 reference, the 7922. So here we have it. We have the Tudor Black Bay 58, the Tudor Black Bay 54, the championship round. Thousands of people voted, Tudor on Tudor battle, and the winner is the Tudor Black Bay 58, receiving 68% of the total vote, almost getting to 70% again, even in the championship round, beating out the new kid on the block, the Tudor Black Bay 54. This is actually the biggest margin of victory that we've ever seen in a championship matchup in tournament history. So impressive run for the Tudor Black Bay 58, and to me, not a surprise. If I had to put money on one horse, I would have guessed it was either the Longines Zulu Time or the Tudor Black Bay 58 as the winner of this tournament for the best watch from $3,000 to $4,000. There are obviously so many great watches from $3,000 to $4,000, so it's hard to still say like this is the best watch, because what I also want to make very clear, and if I haven't made this clear in the past for these tournaments, yes, this is what many people are going to think is the best watch, but that doesn't mean it's the best watch for you. Buy the watch that makes the most sense for your own lifestyle. It makes the most sense for what draws you in, because that is why you should buy a watch. It should be because of your own taste, your own preference, and its own ability to connect with you on some deeper level. I know we're just talking about objects here, but I think you know what I mean. We're all crazy people. But all right, guys, that's all we have for this tournament, looking at the best watch for $4,000. How'd you like how this one concluded? Do you agree with the end result? Do you disagree? And maybe some other matchups, did you agree with those along the way? If you enjoyed this video and this style, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. That's a great indication you want us to continue up. 5,000, that's a big number. It's next. Should we do it? Let us know in the comments below as well. Also check out TeddyBaldassarre.com and our new boutique in Cleveland, Ohio. Full authorized dealer of over 30 brands, quick and fast fulfillment, dedicated customer support, and a full factory warranty for every product that we offer. But guys, thank you again so much for watching. Be well, and I will see you all very soon.